Hi everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. I know we started off with some great weather this afternoon. We're finishing off well under clear skies, and for the next couple of days, a very quiet and sunny weather pattern. Hey, let's talk about it coming up.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
You're watching DC News Now at 9.
And coming up at DC News Now, exclusive gunfire terrorizing the DC community on the eve of Mayor Muriel Bowser's crime summit. That barrage of bullets lasting nearly 30 seconds, shattering a community and wounding a college student laying in bed.
I want to be at peace at home, but a bullet came through and hit me in my arm. It's crazy.
We are in that community tonight, giving voices to their safety concerns.
Plus, a heated back and forth over the future site of an old airport in Prince George's County, Maryland. We're live as Bowie residents get the first chance to weigh in on what to do with it.
Abusive managers, toxic workplaces, security concerns among accusations being hurled by U.S. postal workers. Today, they sound off in the nation's capital, calling for better and safer conditions to do their job.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Our top story tonight: on the eve of a crime summit, neighbors in a Southeast D.C. community are begging for action from police and the Housing Authority. They say dozens of shots were fired early Sunday morning, leaving a young man wounded and cars and homes battered.
And this all happened in the Marshall Heights neighborhood. And new tonight, DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg talked exclusively with that young man who was shot through his bedroom window.
We have doorbell video of this shooting that we will show you in just a second. Right now, D.C. police aren't releasing much information about exactly what happened, but neighbors tell us they have been complaining about one house in particular for years. You're looking at Queen Stroll Place near 50th Street Southeast at around 12:30 a.m. Sunday.
I'm laying in my bed. All I heard was a big boom. I'm thinking it's fireworks. I'm like, why are they doing fireworks this early? Then I heard the glass upstairs shattered. I'm like, so it must be bullets. I was laying on the floor like this, my head down, and it grazed me in my shoulder.
This man, whose face we're blurring to protect his identity, says a bullet flew into his bedroom, but he actually lives a street behind Queen Stroll Place. 10 to 15 bullets hit every level of his house, breaking the air conditioning unit outside.
It missed this gas tank right here and went straight through the wall.
Neighbors on Queen Stroll are fed up, telling us they've reported one house in particular to police and the D.C. Housing Authority repeatedly for drug activity. And a SWAT team even showed up last August, but nothing has changed. They want accountability so they can feel safe in their own homes. Many neighbors are living in fear of retaliation.
It's crazy. I just want change, you know. My whole family inside, my little brothers, they could have been running around downstairs. They could have got hit by a bullet.
In Southeast, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Also developing in Southeast D.C., a hunt for the armed man police say stole a car with 2 children inside. Those young children were quickly found and are safe at this hour. This all unfolded just before 6 p.m. on Bowen Road in Southeast D.C. Police say the suspect knows the children's mother, but they're not elaborating on how. They say the woman got out of the car after a crash, and the man jumped in and then drove off. Again, those children were quickly found and are safe. So far, though, no arrests.
And new tonight, Bowie residents are getting their first chance to weigh in on what they want at the site of the old freeway airport. Our reporter Yamari Sase is live in Largo tonight, right outside a zoning meeting on that divisive topic. And Yamari, there were some ideas on what should go where and a lot of opposition to one idea in particular.
Yeah, that's right. There was a lot of concern about putting a townhome development at that site, but residents are citing everything from property value to overcrowding.
One by one, residents spoke against a recent rezoning change to Freeway Airport in Bowie that will allow hundreds of townhomes to be built on the land.
I was really upset about that because the zoning does not fit with that community.
Longtime residents like Monica Roebuck say they're concerned about traffic.
Church Road is an old road and it's just one lane going in each direction, and so it just cannot handle the amount of traffic flow that's going to come as a result of the proposed neighborhood at Freeway Airport.
And overcrowding.
Response times are going to be lower for police. You're going to have a longer wait at the hospital. Schools will have larger class sizes, okay, and you're not going to get the quality of education that you want.
Roebuck says she would rather something else be built there.
They could bring a bookstore, they can bring more medical care, they could maybe put a school there. They could bring a lot of things there.
Lawyers for Freeway Realty, the contract for the development, promise infrastructure improvements if the project moves forward.
These additional entitlements will analyze things such as public facilities, including roads, schools, fire and police response times. This project will lead to improvements to Church Road and significant fee contributions to the public school system as required by law.
Yeah, so what's next? Now, the Prince George's County, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission has up until October to finalize its master plan for the city of Bowie and nearby areas. And this all takes place as Prince George's County debates a pause on all townhome developments within the next 2 years. But we will continue to track all that information for you in the coming weeks. For now, reporting in Prince George's County, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
All right, if you have the day off tomorrow, you are certainly in luck. Let's get a first check in the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb.
At Janessa, Wednesday and Thursday look gorgeous.
Yeah, very tranquil, very quiet weather pattern. If you have the day off, if you're going to be at work, go out for lunch, whatever you can do to try to get some outdoor activity in, because it's going to be a very beautiful day. Right now, the cathedral looks very gorgeous out there. We're sitting under a lot of clearing that has unfolded across the DMV. After this cold front, it stripped in from north to south. Earlier this morning, you dealt with the rain, and then throughout the afternoon, increasing clouds. We're going to finish well tonight here under clear skies, but a cooler air mass that will continue to trickle in through the next couple of hours. At the 9 o'clock hours, still very mild, 61 for the metro area. Surrounding counties, we're in the middle to upper 50s in most spots. We're not going to see our overnight lows really plummet until about 4 a.m. back into the lower 40s. So enjoy kind of some milder conditions as you're stepping outside. Here's that cold front that caused that rain and kind of that grayness that we saw for your Tuesday. It's hovering out towards Charleston, South Carolina at this point, about to touch central Georgia. That big old H is about to come across the East Coast from Maine down to Tampa. I mean, we are going to be sitting in a good chunk of sunshine. So if you're doing some traveling on some major hubs or our roadways, A-OK for a good 48 hours. Partly cloudy skies as you're walking our four-legged friend for tonight. Overnight into tomorrow morning, high pressure will really stall out, allowing us to see a good amount of sunshine for Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, a little bit of a different pattern starts to set us up going into the weekend, and we're tracking some showers. We'll look at that forecast coming up.
Jessica, thank you. And we now know the name of a postal worker charged in Monday's shooting right outside of D.C.'s Brentwood Post Office. Police say 25-year-old Davita Johnson shot a woman during an argument, and we're told the women knew one another. The victim is expected to pull through. Now, the charges come as postal workers from across the country rally for better working conditions. Our Mariel Carbone is live outside the USPS facility at L'Enfant Plaza, where hundreds demanded change today. And Mariel, better security in light of Monday's shooting is just one of their many demands.
Yep, that's right. One of those biggest concerns, security, but also staffing shortages and what some union members call abusive management and toxic work environments. Now, Tasmin and Chris, union leaders today say all of this really starts with the leadership at the top.
I've been in the post office 28 years, and I have never seen it as bad as it is now. The short staffing, the consolidation.
For Nanette Corley, working for the United States Postal Service has been great until recently.
It is so toxic now.
And there's another big problem post-pandemic.
Mental illness is real, but the managers that are now being promoted, they're not being trained, so they don't know how to handle controversy.
So it sounds like security is a concern at work for you. Corley was one of the hundreds of postal workers from around the country protesting outside Tuesday's USPS Board of Governors meeting, calling out Postmaster General Louis DeJoy's 10-year plan, now 2 years in, that cut and raise some postal hours and rates.
We are the union.
The meeting held just one day after a postal worker shot a woman at the post office in Brentwood, renewing a call by Congresswoman Eleanor Norton to install security cameras inside and outside all postal facilities.
That would be a great idea to put security cameras. Things are starting to pop off.
Still inside the meeting, the Postmaster General touted improvements within the agency.
Our service performance has increased steadily week after week. Our improvements to service have occurred because of and while making many significant changes to our operating conditions and strategies.
A stark contrast to chants outside.
The joy got to go. The 10-year plan isn't working.
Now, DeJoy says that he has stabilized the agency by converting more than 120,000 workers to full-time employees. Chris and Tasmin, as far as the security cameras go, Norton tried to get this passed last year, but at the time, USPS said that it did not have the funds to actually make it happen. This proposed legislation would authorize money to do that in those postal facilities across the country. Reporting live downtown, I'm Ariel Carbone, DC News Now.
Ariel, thank you. And also tonight, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin says the idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion has gone off the rails.
Yeah, that was the governor's response to a question about his chief diversity, opportunity, and inclusion officer, Martin Brown, who declared that DEI, or diversity, equity, and inclusion, is dead. Brown's remarks, first reported by the Washington Post, led to several calls for Brown to resign or be fired.
And so Youngkin says the concept of DEI were admirable 5 or 10 years ago, but today he says this.
We've got to get back to the basic principles that we know are right and away from the bombastic language that DEI has become, where people all of a sudden are professing that we want equal outcomes for everyone at any cost, and where all of a sudden excellence has been subordinated to equity.
Youngkin made this statement yesterday during a ceremonial bill signing outside the executive mansion in Richmond. He went on to say diversity does need to be embraced and differences celebrated, but he did not specify any plans his office would take to ensure that inclusive initiatives would be a priority. In a statement to our sister station in Richmond, the governor's office says, in part, Governor Youngkin will continue to advance equal opportunities, not equal outcomes for all Virginians. This is too important of an issue to succumb to those seeking to cancel Chief Brown for challenging the groupthink of the progressive left's pursuit of equity at any cost.
And major national news tonight, a jury has found former President Donald Trump liable for sexually abusing advice columnist E. Jean Carroll back in 1996. Now, Carroll, seen here walking out of the courtroom today, has been awarded $5 million. The verdict was split. Jurors rejected Carroll's claims that she was raped by the former president, but found Trump responsible for a lesser degree of sexual assault. The jury also found Trump liable for defaming Carroll after she made her allegations public. Trump did not attend the civil trial and was not there when the verdict was read. The former president, who called the case a witch hunt, says he and his lawyers will appeal.
DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks is officially jumping into the U.S. Senate race to fill the seat of outgoing Senator Ben Cardin. Alsobrooks has made a big name for herself in Maryland politics. She's led Maryland's second largest county since 2018 as the first woman to hold that position. Prior to that, she spent 8 years as state's attorney for the county. Alsobrooks, now the fourth candidate to throw a hat into the ring. She joins Congressman David Trone, Montgomery County Councilman Will Jawando, and political activist Jerome Siegel. Now, we've also just learned Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin is considering a Senate run. Democrat who just completed 5 months of chemotherapy says he'll take the next month or so to carefully consider that decision.